Look at those low rates.
Hello, greetings. Welcome to episode 7. I am finishing up going through the games that were in the cardboard boxes, and before I get into container number 2, which is right there, and I'm going to be showing you some bootlegs and some imports. So hopefully these will be of interest to you. Also, I'm going to be interjecting commercials that will make not only me laugh, but select viewers laugh as well. So let's get started. First one that we have coming up is a bootleg multi-game cartridge, of which I'm a huge fan, which is 53 in 1. 53 games. These multi-game cartridges are extremely temperamental. In my experience, I have found that they either work fine or they require some a little extra time in cleaning the contacts and messing with them a bit for them to work. So they're not always the best. This looks like a 9-in-1. 9 games in 1 cartridge. How amazing is that? But I can go even better than that. How about Supreme 12-in-1? Holy moly. Isn't that exciting? 12 games in 1 cartridge. There are often games on these cartridges that were never released for Sega Game Gear. A lot of them are Sega Master System games that they just ported over to put onto 1 cartridge. So you can often get cartridges, multi-game cartridges with games that were never released for Sega Game Gear, which is kind of cool.
That old car might be worth money. Call Victory Auto Wreckers at 860-2000 for a quote. Victory will tow no matter what condition your car's in. Victory tows 7 days a week, and you might get cash on the spot or save money by fixing up your car with used parts. Victory has 10 acres of used parts, starters, transmissions, batteries for all types of cars. Victory Auto Wreckers, 710 East Green in Bensonville near O'Hare. Call 630-860-2000.
Next would be a 4-in-1, right there, 4 games in 1 cartridge. This one is unique, and I'm glad I have this one to show you. It's called Super Game Happy Game. Okay, but on the back, it has this cellophane window, so you can see the game through there, which I can show you. The stickers are always pretty bad. And I tried to look up what this meant, and the NIPPON, what I found, stands for Japan or Japanese. But as far as the D-O after it, I don't know. If you know, please put it in the comments or contact me on Instagram to let me know if you know the translation. But that is Super Game Happy Game. How about Super Gear 23 in 1? Holy cow. 23 games in 1 cartridge. That's amazing. And some of the games typically are in English with the Japanese name written underneath. I don't think I have a multi-game cartridge that is just purely in Japanese. The ones that I've seen predominantly have been the English version, and often the games have weird titles. So, for instance, Retro Flash, which is game number 5 on this particular cartridge, when you put the game in, the 5th title may not even be a game titled Retro Flash. It may be a Sega Master System game that they converted over and then on here just changed the name. So you can't always be expecting it to be exactly what's listed on the cartridge or the box. And sometimes the cartridges just say 23 in 1 or whatever, how many in 1, with really bad graphics on the sticker for the cartridge. And if you can find the box, the boxes are usually pretty obviously bootlegged. This is a 30 in 1. 30 games in 1. I believe Dr. Mario is on here, which is obviously that company that starts with an N. We don't use the N word on this channel. And yeah, so you can sometimes get those games from that other system. You can find them on multi-game cartridges, which is kind of cool, because you wouldn't normally be able to ever play that on Game Gear. Here is Super 18 in 1. And a lot of these multi-game cartridges, there is a lot of repeats. So you might get 6 different multi-game cartridges, and when you go through and look at the games, you're like 85% of the games on these 6 cartridges are all the same, maybe with a few differences here and there. But they change the sticker, and you get excited because it is different than the one you already have.
Look to Jewel for something special, like the Jewel Savings Stampede. With our savings stamps, you'll enjoy low prices on name-brand holiday gift ideas.
Take a new look.
Save on Nabisco Wheat Thins, Triscuits, or Better Cheddar Crackers, just $1.49 a box. And enjoy Rice-A-Roni Savory Classics, only $1.19 a box. For something special.
Take a new look at an old friend Jewel.
Let's take a look. And typically, the cartridge, for instance, this is a 52 in 1, and the sticker is heavily pixelized. The finish is a weird glossy surface. It's not uncommon for the sticker not to be lined up correctly, often like at an angle, or if it's too small for the space allotted for the sticker. And typically, instead of at the bottom of the cartridge it saying Sega, it'll be nothing like this one, or it'll say Game. So this one is a 52 in 1, and it's just nothing. Nothing there. You'll also get this. Here's an example. 10 in 1. But as you see, they use the NBA Jam sticker, and then they put in the 10 in 1 right there. It's all one sticker, but they scanned the image of the NBA and then overlaid the 10 in 1. And this one at the bottom right here says Game, instead of it being centered and saying Sega. This is a common game. Oh, there's one more, and I'm glad I found this one to show you. Okay, hopefully that is focusing in. This is a 12-in-1, and it says Gear Card. Centered, actually molded into the plastic of the cartridge. And it's 12 games. And again, these 12 games listed on here, on the games I just previously showed you, 85 to 90% of the same games, just put onto a different cartridge. Put that to the side. Then we have a different type of multi-game. This one actually has a switch at the top. So up here, there is a switch which you move, and that allows you to select which of the 6 games on here that you want to play. So if I want to play the first game, Wonder Boy, I'd move it all the way to this side, and that would say game number 1. Next click, game number 2, all the way to playing game number 6. And this one actually has screws in the back holding it together, which is different than the standard Sega Game Gear cartridge, which has the Torx screw right in the middle. So this has 4 screws at each of the corners.
Solozzi Edelson Chevrolet is #1 in sales because of our guaranteed sales policy.
You want the best price and the greatest selection.
So we offer over 1,500 new cars and trucks ready for immediate delivery.
We offer low-rate financing to qualified buyers.
Plus, we guarantee you'll save more money on any new car or truck, or we'll give you back the difference in cash.
At Solozzi Edelson Chevrolet in Elmhurst at York and Roosevelt Roads,
where you always save more money.
Then we have a 2-in-1, so only 2 games on this cartridge. And as you can see, the game cartridge is not black, it is a light gray. And another gear card, that's what it says right here, molded into the plastic, and this one happens to be Pingo in the game columns. They also make, this is a standard Game Gear game case, clear container if you want to call it. And they also, of course, have bootleg clear cartridge cases or boxes or protectors, whatever. And sometimes it'll have nothing. Instead of saying Game Gear, it'll just be the lines going straight across. Sometimes at the bottom it'll say Game. I've seen many different variations of bootleg games, and I love them. I love bootleg games. Here's another variation. This is a 10-in-1, so we'll take a look at that. Okay, there we go. And there is a button right here, a rubber button that you would depress. You plug the game in, it should start with a load screen and bring up the different games. Sometimes it allows you to toggle from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 start. Often when you plug it in, it'll start with whatever game, and when you depress the button, it'll go to the next game and start from obviously the start screen of the next game. You get bored, want a different game, you press the button again, and it should take you to the next game. These can be kind of finicky. Sometimes they work well. Other times I've had games where you press it and the game turns off, or the game starts to glitch, or the screen will go black and it'll take you right back to the same game you were just on. It'll jump, you press the button, it'll jump from game 1 to game 8, and you're like, no, I wanted to play game 2. So that's another variation of a bootleg multi-game. Let's see what we have. Got some Japanese games, some more. This is Pet Club, and as you can see, not 1, not 2, but 3 of this game. Let me move it over here There we go. So that is Pet Club. There's a dog version and there's a cat version. This happens to be the dog version. Then we have not one, but two. And this is Virtua Fighter Mini. Okay. So two of those. Again, probably I thought that I didn't have the game, and then bought it a second time, and then years go by and you see it come up and you're like, hey, that's cheap, and you buy it again and you end up with 2 or 3 copies. Here is the Japanese version of The Simpsons Bart versus the World. Move it over here. Bart versus the World.
Hey, pizza lovers, get my designer luggage free with a purchase of $5 or more at Rocky Rococo's. With it, you can carry my pen-style pizza slices to your friends, or carry holiday gifts away from your friends. And there's coupons inside, worth over $5 in pen-style pizza value. So come to Rocky Rococo's and get your designer luggage and coupons today, where good taste is in the bag.
Rocky Rococo.
Made by hand with heart.
I believe I already showed this. Yes, I already showed you one copy. So this is the second and third of Super Smash TV. If I move it over here, it'll make space for me to put the picture at the corner. Okay. Next we have the Incredible Crash Dummies. Not Crash Test, but Incredible Crash Dummies. The Japanese release. Kind of a silly, fun game. Now I have some accessories. We have the Japanese Sega Game Gear TV Tuner Pack. Back before we went digital, you could use your Game Gear as a TV and watch television on the Game Gear, which was amazing. I remember looking at that in the store and just thinking it was the coolest thing ever. We have, again, not one, but two, Japanese Sega Game Gear Car Adapter 2. So you plug that into your cigarette lighter and it provides power to your Game Gear. This box says Car Adapter 2 times 2. So, good thing we have 4 of these. Let me go. Whoop, there we go. 4. Just in case I'm driving somewhere and 4 people want to plug in to get power to their Game Gear.
Hello, it's me, Cookie Puss, the fresh Carvel ice cream cake. Now they've made me into a doll. And you can get other Carvel cake character dolls too, like Hug Me the Bear.
Hi, I'm Hug Me the Bear.
And Cookie Chick, the hippest chick. And Fudgy the Whale.
I'm Fudgy the Whale.
Please go to your participating Carvel dealer and ask to see the dolls. If you'd like to order a set of dolls or Carvel ice cream cakes, call 800-327-GIFT. Thank you.
Next we have a bootleg. Company is called Grey Wolf or Winsome. Game Gear RF, radio frequency wire. Here is the box. Yep. And then this is what the cord looks like that goes with it. Kind of an obscure bootleg product. There's 2 of them in here. It's Sega Game Gear authorized or not, or licensed or not, I must have it. These are kind of unique. Let's break for a commercial.
The gorgeous ladies of wrestling are now on the telephone.
And we don't want just any wimps calling us.
The Glow Girls can now be dialed directly.
We want to hear from real men, capable men.
For a good time, call the Gals of Glow.
Okay, you guys out there, let's hear from you now.
Dial 1-900-660-GALS for Glow. $1.50 for the first minute, 35 cents each additional minute.
Okay. Let me get this out of the bag. These I see pop up every now and again. It is a Game Gear, and it just says Game Collection. And it has a cellophane window, clear, to show you the game inside. I've never bought one. That's the back, which is different because it shows you the Japanese light blue system variation. And it's usually just the game. I've never found one that has the instructions. And the games typically are just standard games. For instance, this one has Sonic Drift 2 in it. Not a bootleg, just Sonic Drift 2. Just in this box. I don't know the story of these boxes. So if someone out there knows why these were made or who made them, I'd be very interested to learn the background of these boxes. This first one happens to have the Tectoy version or Space Harrier game made by Tectoy. And the third one I took out, and it has a clear insert that holds the game, and these games tend to really be stuck in there. So to get them out, you have to force them out, and I don't like to do that because I don't want to crack the tray insert or bend it or do anything else to it. So typically I leave the game alone. This one happens to have no cellophane window in it. It's just obviously goes straight through to the game. So I have to put this away anyways. I'll put this back in here. I just wanted to show you what the inside of these typically look like and how they're set up. And these I have found in the US, I have found them in Japan, I found them in the UK, and again, I'd really like to know the background on them. Who made them? Why were they made? Were these closeouts? They just made a generic box and used them to sell individual games? I don't know. But that's what it would look like. With the hanger tab, you hang it up there. It doesn't tell you what game or anything is on there, so it's very generic. So you could stick any game you want in there because the buyer would just be like, oh, that's the game. I want it, so I'll buy it. Here's a little obscure item, and that would be the Sega Game Gear Sonic the Hedgehog bubble gum. Yeah, this gum is probably like eating cardboard at this point. It's unopened. I see these come up here and there on eBay and other sites. I thought it was cool because it looks like a miniature Game Gear, so I got one. Let's see what's in this box. Here we go. Here is a prototype of Fantastic Dizzy, and then the actual release of the game, Fantastic Dizzy. So the prototype, or test cartridge, whatever you want to call it, however you want to refer to it as, There we go. I have not tested these games in a long time, so I don't know if the gameplay on the prototype is any different from the final version of the game that was released for sale. There are websites where people will extract the ROM for the game from the cartridge and then highlight the differences. Well, here's what the normal retail version of the home screen looks like, and then here's the prototype version, so you can, they accentuate the differences and highlight the differences between what the game looked like in prototype form versus the game that eventually made it to retail. This, our pal clear cases. I've picked these up when they're cheap. Current auctions, people are like asking like $2 and $3 per game empty cartridge holders. Like, no. So when I can get them for an inexpensive price, I'll pick them up because I have a ton of loose games, so I will use them to organize my games as I go through them here, and I'll be putting like those loose multi-game cartridges, I'll be putting them in game holders.
Rock-a-bye your baby. Hi, I'm Harry Schmerler, your singing Ford dealer. The Thunderbird sale is on now. You can buy this new 84 Thunderbird for only $89.88. $89.88 for a new Thunderbird, and now, due to a Ford factory special value package, you can get $2,000 worth of accessories free. Prices from $89.88, $2,000 worth of free factory accessories, only at Schmerler Ford, Route 83 and Toohey in Elk Grove Village.
This, I don't know. This is Ray Earth, the Japanese game, but why do I have it? Probably because, knowing me, this game, particular game, came with a black cartridge, a black version, and I have, by chance, sitting here, the red cartridge version. So it came in black and it came in red, and I like the red. I think the red is just more sharp to look at. So, to my understanding, it's the exact same game, except the cartridge color is different. And I found the red cartridge pretty inexpensive, for an inexpensive price, and picked it up. So I'm pretty confident that I have multiple copies of this, so one of them I will put the red cartridge in there, since that is way cooler. Let's see what I have over here. A must-have, the Torx screwdriver with the Torx bit to open the games and game cartridges if you need to clean them, or if you want to validate that it's not, someone didn't make a bootleg and put in a fake game. So when you open it up, you could tell, okay, this is an original, versus someone programmed this and put it in the cartridge case and are trying to sell it as the real thing. And I've seen a lot of that with the original N games. And it's become a real problem because people buy these really, really hard to find games, and then they get them and they open them up and they find that the boards inside are not original, that someone took some other game, wiped it, and then put the ROM on the board, then put the board inside of a case, and then made a new sticker. They even will weather the sticker to make it look like the sticker is old and has been handled a lot, and then the buyer buys it like, holy crap, this is a great game, this is the last one I need for my collection, and then they get it and they're like, oh, This is a bootleg someone made. So yeah, Torx, bit, very important if you want to open your games, check them or clean them or open up a system to mod it. A must-have. Let's see what else we have. We have Random Formula 1, the US release, the manual with the game. So probably in my brain, I have an empty box that this would go with. This is an example where you order a replacement manual because the one you have is not the best, and you get it, and it's waterlogged. This one showed up, and it looks like someone had poured coffee all over it. The pages were stuck together, but in the picture on the listing, it looked flawless. It looked beautiful. So either they sent me a beat up version that they already had, or from the time they took the picture to the time I received it, they spilled something all over it, ruined it, and instead of saying, hey, this manual is no longer in mint shape, they just sent it. So I have problems with that, and I take care of problems like that. Here's an example from way back when you order a game and the person puts it in a regular envelope, even though I put in a very detailed request through my PayPal payment and on eBay. Hey, the game's box, this box for the game is very important to me, and any effort that you put into ensuring that it shows up the same way it is currently before you ship it will be greatly appreciated. And I've had people write me back, oh, no problem, I totally understand. I know the importance of boxes. I'll make sure it arrives safely. And then they put it in a manila envelope, and it gets smashed, crushed, destroyed. I got this a million years ago. Luckily, it's a very common game, but if this was something very rare and they did that, you better believe I would be making my... I apologize for that interruption. My camera can only record for, I believe, 25 minutes before it cuts off, and that's exactly what it did. So I was at the end of the video anyway, but I wanted to put a conclusion here at the end. What I have here is container number 1, which is all the bubble wraps and bags that all the games were wrapped in as I went through them. So now what we do is we take this container and we swap it out for this container, which is container number 2, which has many games completely full. And looking really quick, I see that I have what looks like 6 copies of Micro Machines. So by Codemasters. So yes, the next episode will be on Christmas Day, the 25th, which will be a Friday, and I will be working on that this upcoming week. This episode came down to the wire, was working a lot of hours and needed a kick in the ass to get this video done, but I'm really glad that it's done. It took a lot of editing, so hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you will tune into next week when I get into container number 2. It'll be container 2 part 1, and yeah, I hope everything is healthy and safe with you. You can contact me through Instagram. I post all kinds of different things regarding Sega Game Gear on my Instagram. And yes, be well, take care, and I'll see you in 1 week.
Hey, these guys are smart.